Welcome to the channel, Gaming Army. It's been said you should never meet your heroes. Let me know if you agree with that sentiment in the comment section below. But for this particular video, I am going to introduce you to a hero, and that is the Enforcer Hero Mech, also known as the Ghillie. Now, I really liked the concept of the Ghillie. In fact, I was very, very excited when I first saw it. I mean, what's not to love? I mean, just look at it. It's got a small profile. It already has its Ghillie suit on for lower observability on the battlefield. It's got the Gauss in the right arm for sniping. It appears to be perfect. So let's dig in a little deeper. And as we do so, our first drop is going to start playing out in the background. This is a skirmish match on Hibernal Rift. And we're going to roll up our sleeves and dig into the review on the Ghillie. Starting this review at the very beginning, the first thing I want to touch on is the quirks. Obviously, this is a hero mech, so it comes with the 30% C-build bonus, some armor quirks to help survivability, and a bit of token firepower quirks included as well. Now, the interesting one that this comes with is a 50% stealth armor cooldown quirk, which is rather interesting if you're running stealth armor on the Ghillie. Keep in mind that's a double-edged sword. While you aren't observable, it also interferes with your ability to scan the enemy targets. Getting into the real nuts and bolts of this mech means diving under the hood, and for that we're going to look at stock loadout. This is fresh from the mech factory. What can you expect under the hood? So the first thing we need to check into is the fact that it's got that beautiful Gauss rifle in the arm. Comes with 5 jump jets for mobility, ECM for protection. It's got some backup lasers in the left torso. It's also sporting an XL engine, so that's another consideration you'll want to think about with this build. Top speed is 81 kph, so this is very maneuverable, and all of that is crammed into a 50-ton chassis. Jumping into the action on this drop that's been playing in the background, you should have noticed that the enemy did indeed push the 4 line. Now, my team was somewhat split. A group of them engaged out of Bravo 3 and held their advance. While that was unfolding, the rest of the team kind of wrapped around behind the enemy coming through Charlie 4, and we were able to kind of wrap them up. Now, it's a close game. In fact, we're tied on kills at 3 apiece, and the battle has now devolved into a giant melee fest over this contested grounds right in front of us here at Bravo 4. I have managed to find my own little slice of heaven in this chaotic situation, and that's the rock right in front of me. I can peek out the right-hand side, and that's where my Gauss rifle is, so I don't have to fully expose unless I also want to bring the lasers to bear. I also have jump jets, and that's going to allow me to pop-tart if I so choose, so I do have some options. I can peek left, I can peek right, and I can also do the vertical peeking as necessary. Now, there's a little urban mech. He's being a pain in the butt up there on the high ground, and as I'm focusing him, that's when the enemy catapult decides to drop in and pay us a visit. So I'm going to push forward on him. He is open left torso. I want to see if I can focus that left torso, and sure enough, we get a kill shot. I didn't think it was going to be a kill shot. I just wanted to try and take down some firepower, but he must have been running an XL engine. Either way, I'll take the kill, and I'll also take the high ground. This should give me a great vantage point to look down on the enemy, and sure enough, there is a Marauder. We don't get the kill shot, but we contribute some damage. Here's our buddy, the little urban mech. Let's ruin his day, and he's got another mech over there with him. It appears to be a Black Knight. Either way, we're going to give both those units a little bit of love via our Gauss rifle and our lasers. The Irby stays on this side of the hill, so let's get some shots in on him, and he's going to look our way again. I've got to be careful. He loves his little PPCs, which totally ruins my ECM. I don't like it when he does that. So we're going to push in because the Black Knight dropped off the backside and the Irby went around the far side of the mountain in front of us. As we pull up, I know he's still there. I'm going to pop a UAV. That way my teammates know he's there and can see him more easily. While we get a quick jump shot in, a teammate is going to pick up the kill on the Irby. Thank goodness he's off the board. Last one will be mopped up by my teammates, and switching over to the end screen, we wind up with 1 kill, 11 assists, 543 damage done. Moving over to our next drop, this is an assault match on River City. We're going to let this play out in the background while we continue our discussion and review of the Ghillie Hero Mech. Now, right off the bat, most of you are looking at the bottom right of the screen from the last drop and saying that wasn't a stock loadout, and now you're looking at the bottom right on this screen and going, that most definitely is not a stock loadout. Juan, what is going on? Are you just a crazy man or what? And you would be right on both counts. I am a crazy man, and neither of those are stock loadouts. So let's talk about builds, and in particular, my build. Now, on this mech, you're reading that correctly. I have switched over to the Gauss rifle in the right arm and a light PPC. Yes, there is a madness to my method, so to speak. In the first drop, I did a minor tweak to the Ghillie and upgraded the small laser for a medium laser and some other minor improvements. This is a radical shift, and I've gone through several iterations of the radical shift because I have found an inherent ceiling with this mech, and that ceiling comes in the damage department. I have gone through many different loadout configurations on this mech, trying to eke out as much damage as I can squeeze out of this 50-ton chassis. And what you're seeing here is one of, I don't want to say preferred loadouts, but it's a good loadout because it does several things. Yes, the light PPC is less damage than the lasers, but a PPC shot is less observable than tracing a straight line back to your shooting position. PPC also gives me the ability to counter ECM, and it frees up weight inside my mech for more Gauss ammo. So that's kind of the thought behind this process. In the stock loadout, I was finding myself running low on ammo quite quickly. And that is a wonderful segue into final thoughts on this mech, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But before we do that, a quick reminder, if you're liking the content thus far, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button if you don't want to miss out on any future content like this one right here. So going into our wrap-up, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Well, there's some good things about this mech that you're really going to like. It's got the looks. I love the look of this mech, especially in the ghillie suit and especially in a wooded terrain where you can put that camouflage to its maximum use. This mech also comes with good maneuverability between the speed and the jump jets. You can get around the board and get into good firing positions. So some of the things that aren't so good. Yeah, this is the bad list. The Gauss rifle is in that right arm, which means it is low slung, and you've probably seen it in the last couple of drops that have been playing out. I've managed to turf some shots because I didn't have that right arm cleared of the terrain in front of me. So that is something to be wary of if you're playing this build. The second thing, and probably a bigger critical concern of mine, is the fact that this mech is sporting an XL engine. So remaining undetected on the board is pretty paramount, because once they start focusing you and pop through a torso, your drop is over. And last but not least is what I alluded to at the beginning of this, talking about experimenting with different drop configurations, is the fact that this is only a 50-ton chassis. that limited tonnage means you're going to have to make some sacrifices here and there, whether it's firepower, ammo, engine sensors. Something has got to give in order to balance this mech out. And just the overall size automatically means that the amount of damage you can dish out in the course of a match is going to be somewhat limited. Now, I've tried this with ERPPCs, I've tried it with light Gauss, I've tried many different configurations. These two were the most successful. More of a stock loadout with the medium lasers, or this configuration that I'm running here. It's not that this is a bad mech, it's the fact that other mechs do the sniping role better. If you choose to play this mech, you will work for a 500 damage match score. Just so you know that up front and know what you're getting into out of the gate. And as our video winds down, it looks like our drop is winding down also. There's only 2 of us left. I am totally out of Gauss rounds at this point. All I have left is my ECM, my maneuverability, and my little old light PPC, so I don't think this is going to end well. There's 2 against 5, and yeah, this just is not the most optimal position to be in at this stage of the game. We're kind of circling around this 7 area, fighting, but I have no illusions that we're probably going to go down. The best I can hope for is to try and find a damaged opponent like, I don't know, this Stalker has an open CT. I just don't know if 5 damage, if I can get out enough damage on him before he gets out his massive alpha strikes on me. There's a right torso. Maybe we can do some work here. Can we get that right torso? Right torso. Come on. Come on. Oh, CT, come on. Come on. We can do this. We can do this. Oh, he's got a friend who's shielding him. Oh, no, here comes the cataphract. He's pretty fresh. I think it's all over. All I can do is try to focus the Stalker for all I'm worth. Come on, one more shot. Take the right torso. I can go down. There we go. Right torso. Okay, I feel better. I can die contentedly, and that I do. So switching over to the end screen on this one, we didn't get any kills, but we did wind up eking out 602 damage in this mech.